Welcome to the OEN Podcast, the podcast about opinions, events, and overall nothingness. We will discuss whatever is on our minds today, and we may or may not accomplish anything with it, but hopefully it will be enjoyable. Also, there is a good chance that listener discretion is advised. So please have a listen and let us know what you think about the discussion.
There we go. It's working. Hopefully we got microphone this. Well, actually I tested it, so we have microphone. So how are you?
I'm good. I'm good.
So if you will look, oh, wait.
Yep.
Right there. Yep, right there. Look.
I'm making it to all your walls.
Yeah, it's it. So you've made it to the wall now.
Yeah,
And
I'm on your race wall. Now I'm making it to the horror wall.
Absolutely. And so for anybody that actually can't see the actual thing,
A little blurry.
so you can't see it. You'll have to watch it on YouTube, but I've actually got the picture pulled up right now that shows it. And so we'll actually discuss this, but this was our picture with C.J. Graham, who actually played Jason in, I'd have to look it up, in a couple of the Friday the 13th movies, but we ended up taking this picture, unfortunately, because Ansley got food poisoning, and she was out kind of most of Saturday. So since we had already paid for the photo, we went ahead and me and you went and took it, and oh my God, did he grab my damn neck?
He can channel a freaking Jason.
Holy shit. I mean, it was surreal being there with him.
Yeah, and he's huge.
He is. He's big. But, you know, and so I forgot, what did he do to you when we walked in there?
He petted my head.
Okay.
He petted my head. I guess I'm pretty, so he petted my head. They didn't give me a chance to like get closer though. They took that picture really fast.
Yeah, then he turned to me and he just slammed that hand down on my neck. What little of a neck I've actually got. And I'm like, holy shit. And I guess evidently he figured he hit me pretty hard, because as I was walking away, he kind of patted me on the back. And I'm like, it was fine, because it just added to the moment.
Yeah,
it was friggin' cool.
It was intense.
It was intense. It really was. That was a really cool moment.
Yeah.
And so that was really cool. We've got others to talk about, but let's see. Oh, there we go. That's back to us. So it was that was a fun weekend. So that was, I guess now that we're already on the subject, that was Days of the Dead in Atlanta. I forgot the dates.
That was February, I want to say 27th, 28th, 29th. It was the last weekend.
No, actually the 21st through the 23rd. Oh. So the only reason I know is because I have my album, labeled.
Yeah.
So very cool. Me, you, and Ansley went and did that. And let's see. There's a picture of the three of us. That was just as we got started. It was the first day we were in the vendor area, and just took the selfie to get the weekend started.
That was a really good one, though.
That was fun. That was fun.
From a 13-year con break. That was really freaking good. It was a perfect amount of crowd, because I've been to super crowded and I've been to you can't find anybody, there's barely any attendance crowd. So I've seen it all in between. That was a good mix because you had your moments where it's like, oh, too many, but then you could easily go somewhere else and be like, oh, there's cool shit over here, and there's not so many people over here.
Yeah. And I think what made that much easier is you had the celebrities in one
Yeah.
area. Then in a completely different area, you had the vendors.
Yeah.
And then if you got overwhelmed with that, you go upstairs to the tattoo convention and you could walk around there. So
Yep.
there were three completely separate areas. And so yeah, if you did get overwhelmed with people, you could actually just get away from it.
Yeah.
So that was cool.
I really enjoyed it.
I did too. We had only been to a couple others before then. We did the Silver Scream Con last September, and everything there was in one area.
Yeah.
So the celebrities were in an area, the photo ops were in an area, and the vendors, they were all in one big open area. And the only thing that was different was if they did the panels, and they
Yeah.
were outside, in a separate area. But other than that, it was all one big thing.
That was my disappointment with Days of the Dead is I didn't see any panels. I do like to go to. I am a panel person.
So they were there. I just never got the. I never
The
got the.
schedule.
Yeah, the schedule of when they were. So like when I went to the VIP party
Yeah.
Saturday night, I got the feeling Ansley did not want me around, so I ended up leaving, and then David Howard Thornton and some of them actually came out there and was
Yeah.
hanging out with everybody. I'm like, what the fuck? I ended up leaving, and then he comes out, and there's
Yeah.
actually a guy on YouTube, Tampa J, that I watch. Tampa J was there all weekend, and
Yeah.
I would have loved to run into him and got a selfie with him, but I never saw him. But he was there at that VIP party too,
Oh wow.
and never saw him. So
Sucks. I'm
you know,
sorry.
I ended up getting a picture with Big Head Art,
Yeah.
and then the Sienna Shaw cosplay, and then the unbelievable Victoria Hayes cosplay.
Yeah, that was really freaking good.
That was
You
an
could have told
amazing
me
one.
it wasn't her. Like I legit thought that she had ended up making it anyways.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we did get to meet Victoria
Yeah.
Hayes, Samantha Scafidi. But yeah, that cosplay looked exactly
Yeah.
like Victoria. So I did ask the girl because I took a picture with her, and I did ask her if it was a prosthetic or a mask, and it was literally just a mask.
Yeah. I remember you
So
telling me
she
about
slid
that.
it on. Let's see. Well, here's the. Let's. Oops, I'm trying to keep my pointer out of the way. That's what she said. So there is the Victoria Hayes cosplay,
Yeah.
and so that was the one that we took out in the hallway. It's not the one with me with her, but it was the one where she had set up like in the lobby and
Yeah.
sat up on the thing. So that was actually pretty cool. But that was a really really good weekend. There was some awesome cosplays. Let's see. Got to make sure I get there. It is. That's me with her. So I actually have that with her. A little far away, but it worked. That was such a good weekend, and got to see Amelie McLean again, and got to see Samantha Scafidi. Got a picture with Art the Clown, so I'll show all that in a little bit. But I mean, even you stood in line with me, so you actually got to meet them too.
Oh yeah. I enjoyed that. I appreciate that. That was a treat.
Samantha was just spectacular.
Yeah, she was.
Because remember I'd said something while we were standing in line. I was like, oh my God, her line is moving so slow. What is the deal?
Yeah. She
And then
wants
we
to talk
get
to that
there.
person.
Yeah, we get there and we find out that the reason it's moving slow is because she is having a genuine conversation with every person that walks up. It's not a just signing the thing, thank you, blah, blah, blah. She is literally having a conversation with everybody.
Yeah.
And that was so worth it.
Oh yeah. That was really cool. I like how down to earth she was and everything.
Yes. Yeah, she was very, very cool. And so she I mean, because the conversation, we had with her, you know, when she was asking what her favorite parts and all, I think my favorite part of the conversation was when we were discussing the glass
Masturbation.
glass was it
Glasturbation.
glasturbation, there we go, the
Whose idea?
glasturbation scene. Yeah, and I asked her, I said, was that your idea or Damien's? And she looked at me like, are you fucking kidding me?
Like, really, I'm gonna want to do that to myself. 100%. What a girl dreams of, making it big.
That was,
Glasturbate.
yeah, that was awesome that she even just looked at me like that. And she's like, really? I'm like, yeah, well.
You know what? She nailed it. I mean, how many women in horror have those epic nail it, never gonna live it down moments?
Never going to live it down, but nobody's ever going to top that either. So,
No. No, she broke a big wall with that one.
yeah.
So hat off, because that was badass.
That was really, really cool. Well, I
I
wouldn't
would
say
love to
cool.
have been a fly in the room when he explained to her. So here's what you're gonna do with this piece of glass.
Yeah, exactly.
And just the face of, I'm gonna do
I
what?
got to do
Fred?
what? Yeah.
Yeah. See, this is all you got to do. Like it's nothing. Tell it like it's nothing.
And it is definitely, you've got a few scenes. That scene, you got the shower scene and you got the rat scene. I mean,
Yeah.
every movie has its own scene, but I mean that scene ranks right up there with the shower scene and the rat scene.
It's
So,
on its own another level because unlike the other scenes, Art did it to somebody. She's just willingly like, yo,
she's doing
I'm
it to
popping it.
herself. Yeah, exactly. So,
That's its own level of fucked upness.
fucked upness. I like that.
Thank you.
Yeah, fucked upness. I'm gonna have to remember that one. I like that. I like that word. So,
It's like we start writing scenes. Do they hit the level of fucked upness that Glasturbation hit?
it's gonna be hard to beat.
hmm I can't think of any scene prior I've seen that's topped it yet. I mean, Pearl gets fairly gnarly in the first one, but it's more just gnarly as far as what the fuck?
Pearl or X?
Pearl. No, X, the first one. The very
That's
first
yeah. That was X.
Pearl was the prequel. But yeah, X, because it has some really gnarly, what the fuck
Yeah,
moments, but nothing like that.
it did. I so yeah. I didn't actually like Pearl. I
I
didn't.
didn't either.
I
I was
didn't.
disappointed.
Yeah, I'm like I don't. I liked X, and I loved Maxine,
Oh yeah.
but
But
Pearl,
Pearl,
I'm like she's. They make her out to be this just absolutely awful woman, and she's not
give me a rock. Like,
that bad.
yeah, I thought that her story would have given us a what happened, like what finally snapped her moment. But I guess she's just always been snapped and unhinged. But I want the story of what her husband had to endure because man, he stayed with her the whole time. Like, what was his life like?
Yeah, no kidding. That's actually
So
a good
I
point.
still want that story as to why she never left the farm, why she stayed. And how she get away with killing all them people?
Well, when you live out there,
Maybe that's why she stayed.
nobody's gonna sit there and come out there and look and you know until
I'm gonna make another one.
they get killed too. I don't know where any more could be made. I mean, because you think after Maxine, um, that was the '80s, so they're looking,
Yeah.
'90s, 2000s. She's getting a little old. She's already killed her dad, so
Yeah.
I don't know where it could go any further. But it's funny because in the first couple of movies, with Mia Goth, I'm like, she's cute, but
Yeah.
nothing really that would float my boat.
Yeah.
And then they come out with Maxine, they put big hair on her, and I'm like, holy shit, she's hot.
Well, yeah.
I mean, you can definitely tell I'm a kid of the '80s.
That's what I'm saying. They put it in the middle of the freaking 80s.
Yeah, they throw the big hair on there. I'm like, oh well, they're hot. So I guess you could put big hair on Juan, and I'd be like, oh damn, he's hot. So I don't know.
I don't know if Juan would appreciate that.
Yeah, well. But yeah, I've actually watched a few over the last couple of days. I finally watched Cabin in the Woods.
Yeah. What'd you think of it?
That was actually pretty decent. It was better than I thought it was going to be.
I don't remember if they've made a sequel.
No, because it's fairly new.
Oh, wait, I think we're talking about two Cabin in the Woods. Because I've seen one Cabin in the Woods, and that was like 10 years ago.
No. This is one with Chris Helmsworth. It's a Eli Roth film. See, I can see you're looking it up right now.
Yes, I am. I'm like, I got to see the picture to know if I know it.
Yeah.
Because I was like, there's no way you're just now seeing that movie.
Yeah, because basically it's like five people going to supposedly some dude's cousin's house in the woods, and they end up being part of
Yeah,
a.
that came out in 2011.
Seriously?
Yeah. I mean, because that's the only Cabin in the Woods I've got Google pulling up. So, like,
With
if I cut you off and I'm wrong, I'm sorry.
no, with Chris Helmsworth.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I've seen that one.
That was 2011.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Okay, well, I'm a little behind the times.
Oh, where do we go now? Oh, there we are. Yeah, that one to me was a very. I had feels about it when it was over, but I didn't know how I felt about it. But I would watch a second.
Well, it was weird that the stoner guy was like, yeah, fuck the world, I'm gonna stay alive.
Yeah.
And I'm like, really, dude? Just, I'm gonna die anyway. Fuck the world. Let's take them all with us. And so I was kind of surprised at the ending, because most endings aren't going to be that way. They're going to do what they need to do to save the world. Yeah, and this guy's like, fuck it.
No, didn't work. I watched the new Hellraiser yesterday, and I wasn't expecting to like it because I'm not a Hellraiser fan. It's just not my cup of horror. This I think came out like 2 years ago, so not like 2004, 2005, this year, but it's probably about 2 years ago. It's on Hulu. And it's a Hulu only, I think. They're the ones who put it out. But Clive Barker was involved 100%, so it's all him. So they didn't go off canon. They didn't go and make their own like spin-off thing. Nope, Clive Barker was 100% involved in it. But I actually loved it. This is the first Hellraiser movie I actually loved.
I did not know there was a new one. So now I'm looking it up.
It's either the second. So I tried watching Hellraiser many years ago, and so long ago, me and my ex-husband were still married, and it was I think the second or the third one. I don't know. It was just the storyline and the gore in it. It made me sick, so very sick to my stomach. So I never watched any more of them.
It was pretty gory. So yeah, Hellraiser 2022. Young woman struggling with addiction comes into possession
Yes.
of an ancient puzzle box.
Yes. It was good.
Ah, I'll have to check that
So
out.
it's got the female lead Cenobite. And I'm pretty sure I'm butchering that all wrong.
No,
Uh,
Cinnabites right. That's right. That's what
okay.
they are.
Okay, last night I was calling them symbiotes, like they're fucking Venom from Marvel. Um, but so it had the female. It didn't have Pinhead. It had the female version of
Okay.
Pinhead. So I don't know a ton about the lore because I couldn't get into them. But now that I liked this one, I'm like, I don't know. I might go back and watch all the originals now.
I mean, really, the only gore in the first one is when the guy is his body's building back. You know,
Well, it wasn't the first one. It was more the storyline of it's either the second or the third one. But the movie starts at the end of the movie and the movie ends at the beginning of the movie. But there was just the way they told the storyline in itself. I know it sounds weird, but it made me dizzy. It made me nauseous severely to my stomach. I never quite understood why, but it was a mental torture game that Pinhead was doing on somebody, but I don't know. It made me sick as hell though.
well, they're all listed as uh,
Yeah.
erotic
I think
thrillers or
this
erotic
one was
horror.
more this one was more mental mind fuck, and I don't do well with mental mind fuck stuff, so I think it just wasn't for me.
I
But now I
got you.
might go back and watch the other ones.
Yeah. Hmm.
But I recommend it.
I,
I thought
well,
it
I
was.
will definitely. I didn't know there was a 2022 version, so I will definitely watch it. I've seen all the rest.
I don't know if it's on Hulu only. I kind of want to say it is, but I could be very wrong. I don't know if you have Hulu
No, I
because I
don't.
want to say Hulu is the one who put it out
Yeah, I,
with
I,
Cosplay.
I do not have Hulu.
But I could be wrong, so
So
fact check me.
let's see. Hellraiser 2022. Oh, fuck me. I didn't mean to do that. Yeah, there we go. um,
I don't even want to know.
well, so when I typed it in, I ended up hitting a 2. And when I hit a 2, it goes to, I have my screens set
Yeah.
up a certain way. So when I hit the 2, it went to my search screen. So that's all that was. Let's see. Watch movie. Hulu. Yep, that's it. Just Hulu right now. Oh, wait a minute. Prime Video.
There you go.
Yeah, and it may be on Pluto. So, yeah.
Now, I don't, it's not as gory as I remember the first few being. They seem to save the gore more for the end. But from what I remember, it was pretty spot on with how roast movies go.
Okay. Yeah, I'll check it out. I didn't know it existed, so.
I didn't either. I was just looking for some new horror movie to watch and it was coming up empty. And I was like, I've never liked the Hellraiser movies. I've grown since then. Fuck it. Play.
Exactly. Okay. All good.
Forgot what I was going to say too. It was like the Saw movies. I haven't been a fan of them, but the last one I watched, I was like, I actually like this one. This one's a little different.
Which one was it?
Actually, the final chapter.
X?
No, no. I think it's got multiple names it's known by, but like on Amazon Prime, it's listed as Jigsaw, just
Oh,
Jigsaw.
yeah, Jigsaw. Okay, yeah. I know which one you're talking about.
But other subscribers listed as the final chapter.
I've seen them
So
all except for X.
I've
And
seen all except for X now.
yeah, X is actually a prequel. It
Yeah.
goes between 1 and 2, I believe.
Yeah, Shawnee Smith is my selling point on her because I loved her character in the Saw. Not being the biggest Saw fan, but her character I love. Well, I'm a bit of a Shawnee Smith fan.
She was the girl with the,
Yeah,
God, I forgot her name. Dadgummit.
Amanda.
Amanda, there we go. Yeah.
and she ends up becoming his little protege for a while, but she can't behave and she don't play by the rules.
Yep.
I believe that Saw 3 is where she broke the rules. And I think that's the one that I haven't seen, but I thought so, and I went and read about it, and I'm like, no, I've seen this one. So I
So
went and checked all of them. I actually was pretty current on all of them, except for Spiral. And I've tried to watch Spiral, and it's boring as hell. So
it
I've not really watched it.
it ramps up. It's actually pretty good. It is a slow start, but that guy, and again, I don't remember his name either. I did not like him
Yeah,
as being the Saul protege or
yeah,
taking over for John Kramer. I didn't like that guy. I didn't like
yeah.
him when he was a cop. I didn't like him when he was Jigsaw. I
No,
just didn't like him.
he was he's a prick.
But with you, same as you, I did like Amanda.
Yeah,
I just didn't like that guy. And there are some fan theories that think the doctor in the first one,
yeah,
Carrie L's character,
yeah.
ends up being a protege of him as well.
Because we never really found out what happened to the
Right.
doctor.
So,
He sawed his foot off. Dude slams door, and it's like,
right. But there are fan theories that think he became a protege as well.
I could see it. My problem with Saw, and I do actually need to go back and rewatch that. I'm going to with Spookella coming back just because, is the story's got so many different threads and they go all over the fucking tapestry. And I've got to rewatch because I don't remember so much of the plots. Because again, Saw's got a lot of threads.
And sometimes it's hard to follow because we're like, especially the one where he takes the cop's son,
Yeah,
and Amanda's actually playing in that one too. So it may be either
yeah,
two or three. Um,
two, I believe.
okay, yeah, where she gets thrown
Is
in
it
with all
all?
the needles and all that stuff, and it's confusing because you don't know whether it's
Yeah,
showing my age. You don't know if it's live or Memorex. So
yeah,
yeah, it's definitely one of those things. So some of it is actually hard to follow.
yeah. But I will get through and re-binge those. I've been trying to find some new horror movies and I'm coming up dry and empty. Because either stuff I haven't seen or not my cup of tea kind of stuff. And like I said, the body torture porn movies, I think Terrifier's my limit.
That's
But
a pretty hefty limit.
see okay, so Hostel movies like Hostel's a great example. Hostel is based off true
Hostile.
accounts that I see. Those are where I'm like, no,
So
no, because that
Hostile,
doesn't happen.
yeah, I watched Hostile. I tried to watch it years ago, and I
Yeah,
was I was going through a phase I couldn't watch that stuff, so I didn't watch. So now I am totally over that phase, and I watched it and had no issues at all.
yeah,
And but Hostile 2 and 3 are like pay-per-view right now, and
yeah.
so
And then
I
you've
have,
got
I heard Hostile 2 is much worse than 1.
okay. And then I don't know if you've seen it. I didn't see it. It was one because Max husband and me were married when Hostel came out, and he went and saw him in theaters. He was like, "This is not a you thing." I'm like, "No, it's not a me thing." But another one he watched was it's like Wolf Creek. It's based off supposed true events. It takes place in Australia, and it's some military vet that's Australian, lives out in the middle of nowhere, and he tortures people that get stuck in his area. There's like no cell service. It's a dead zone area in Australia, but it's something down the Wolf Creek. But I'm told, and what Mac's husband said, the torture porn in it on body harm was so bad up there at Hostel. There's Brittany triggers in that.
Hmm.
There's some famous scene where it's dude's got one of those serrated blade knives, and it's like he's just driving it into this one guy's spine like over and over, but where he's doing it, the guy won't die, but he'll feel it all, and it's like really brutal.
Yep, it's actually called Wolf Creek.
Okay, I see I remembered it right. So that's
Yep,
one that
Wolf.
I haven't seen either.
Yep, Wolf Creek, 2005. Three backpackers stranded in the Australian outback are plunged inside a hellish nightmare of insufferable torture by a sadistic, psychopathic local.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds like my kind of film. So yeah, I may watch that one.
Yeah. Based off my ex-husband's reaction, and you like Hostel, you probably will like it.
Okay,
I have
check it out.
no knowledge other than the knife scene, and I know there is a rape scene in it, or it shows the beginning of it. But that was the other reason my ex-husband said not for me.
Yeah. So there was there was something I sent to you. I was watching, and I'm like, oh, human centipede.
Yeah, no.
Holy shit! What a
I've not seen them, but I know all about them. And the one I heard the worst about was the one in the prison.
actually. So it's funny. The one in the prison is it's stupid. It is literally just absolutely asininely stupid.
Okay.
But they bring back everybody from the first two, which was kind of cool. In the first one, this so-called German doctor goes and he kidnaps two women and a dude, and of course makes a human centipede of them. And in the second one, there's a guy, and he doesn't exactly talk.
Yeah.
So you don't know if he's mentally I don't know, whatever the fucking word is these days. You don't know if he's mentally slow or what.
Yeah.
But he makes a human centipede he tries to make it of 12 people.
Yeah.
He ends up only making of 10 because he ends up killing two of them. But then in the third one, in the prison warden is the German doctor from the first movie,
Yeah.
and his admin assistant is actually the dude from the second one that makes the centipede. And then the people that were in the movie, the cop or the one of the guys from the centipede or whatever, are like prisoners in there.
Yeah.
So they bring back everybody from the first two movies into the third one. But it's just stupid. The third one's stupid.
Yeah.
But when I texted you and I'm like, most definitely not the second one. I mean, without you seeing it, can you hear it and it be okay type deal?
Yeah, I can hear it. Because
Okay,
I didn't
so
think about it.
So within the second one of the centipede people of the 12 that are in there is pregnant.
Yeah.
And so they're surprising. I don't know why he picked her because that's not going to work.
Yeah.
But what happens is later in the movie, and spoiler alert for anybody watching,
Yeah.
she ends up having the baby while she's in a car. She escapes, she gets in a car, she has the baby.
Yeah.
And it just kind of squirts out or whatever. Well, then she finds the keys to the car and she starts the car up. And as she's starting to move everything around, the baby rolls forward and she slams on the gas and smashes his head. And I'm like, what the fuck?
What's the point of having all that just to have that be the end?
Exactly. So that's what I'm like, oh yeah, you don't need to watch this. It's what the fuck?
That kind of ending would have me throw something. Like,
And that's not even the ending. That is just part of the middle.
oh wow.
Yeah, that ain't even the fucking ending.
Oh wow, I thought that was the end. Yeah, that's not
No.
a me movie.
For anyone that has not seen Human Centipede, you gotta watch the first two. The third one's not really worth it, but oh my God, you gotta watch the first two. Just so you can say you've seen some of the nastiest horror flicks ever put out there.
I get a pass.
Yeah, you do need to give it a pass, but it's that is totally out there.
I remember I was management target when the prison one came out, and I remember just like stalking it in electronics, look at the back of that, just go, wow, who would watch? Why? Not me, no.
So, according to the trailer or the I don't know whatever they wrote about it, they said they did a 500 person centipede, but it was only about 250. It's only about
Yeah,
half of that much.
only about 250 people
Yeah,
of the centipede. That sounds like 250 people, a lot too much.
mouth to ass, 250 people.
Ah,
And when it really gets bad is especially in the second one
yeah.
is when the lead of the centipede has to shit. And then it starts to just pass its way through. It, it's just bad. It's
Yeah.
just I don't whoever thought that up is
Probably watch way too many Hitler documentaries.
yeah, what his name? Tommy Six or something like that is the guy that wrote and directed it.
Uh,
He actually shows up in the third one.
nice. I'm trying to think of all the weird fucked up ones I just never would touch. There's not many. I've been trying to go back to watch Insidious because I was told don't watch Insidious. It would hit my trigger from Jax, which having now seen the first one, I didn't understand why because I'm like, no, it doesn't.
No, that's not even close. I mean,
No.
the
So
kid goes missing, but
yeah, that's not gonna bother
no.
me. And I watch it. As long as it's not on screen, it doesn't bother me. But they're very slow, so I'm taking my time through the Insidious movies catching up. But there's not a lot of movies that just make me go, no, I'm not gonna watch that. But Centipede, Hostel, The Wolf
Centipede,
Creek ones,
yeah, Centipede 2 for sure. One,
Slither was one I did not want to see, but I don't do worms. Anyways, so I never watched Slither.
that was snakes, wasn't it?
No, the movie was called Slither. I think it was slugs, giant worms,
I don't know.
something.
Evidently, I have no limit, so.
I want to say the body torture porn movies that have pushed me. Texas Chainsaw, the Jessica Biel one was pretty for me
Really?
as that movie came out because I watched it in theaters. I was a lot younger and I was very shelled, put in a shell.
Oh, well, yeah, then that's
Uh,
going to be a bit of a
yeah,
bit
shell
of a
shock. So
shock.
that one
Yeah.
got me. All the wrong turns are woof.
I like Wrong Turn.
Yeah, I had they're a guilty pleasure. It's like a train wreck. I can't look away from
Yeah,
them.
those I like the Wrong Turn, especially forgot which one it was. So the original had Elijah Dushku in it.
Yeah,
So I did like it. But then the one with Henry Rollins, and
yeah.
that's either 2 or 3.
I can't remember that. No, they were all pretty good, and I was pretty impressed with all of them.
Yeah.
Now there was the very last one they made where there was a dual ending where you thought the girl got away, then the credits rolled, then there was another ending, and that one was I liked that one.
So I haven't seen all 6 of them.
Oh,
Yeah, because I mean, again, I'm a cheap ass, so I'm only going to, watch them when they're free. So I haven't seen all 6. I've seen 3 or 4 of them. But
see, that was the summer of my broken foot. I binged all of them, and there was I think three of them I used Google credit rewards to rent them.
okay. Yeah,
Now, we
I
really
need to
should
see
look into
those.
that Google credit rewards thing because I don't spend any of my own money. It's just like this Google survey thing that you get, and it's literally off Google. It'll say, "Hey, have you been to Wendy's lately?" And you'll be like, "Yeah," and it'll say, "What day?" And you pick a random day, and it'll ask if you pay with cash, debit, or other means, and you select, and then it goes, "Here's 25 cents in your Google Rewards account," and then you spend them in the Play Store or the Google Play TV in my case. So I don't spend any money to rent these movies at all.
Okay.
Now I have bought movies on there. Either I've saved up my Google Rewards knowing I was going to want to buy it, or I just bought it. And then there was a few times where I actually just went and bought it because I knew I have all the Venom movies. For me, that's something that's worth my money to own. But
Right.
yeah. Then I went on this spree with it for a bit because I had like a crap ton in Google Rewards because like 6 months rolled and there was no movies I wanted to rent or use money on it. So I had a shit ton of cash in there. So I bought like that vampire movie that came out, Annabelle. Not Annabelle, starts with an A, doesn't it?
Oh,
Abigail.
Abigail. Yeah.
So stupid. That was a waste of $20
That
for
no,
me.
that was actually a pretty good movie. I actually
But it
enjoyed
wasn't
that.
worth $20.
No, not $20 worth. You know,
No, I own it
maybe
now.
$3.99, but not $19.99.
Yeah. So I'm gonna save it onto my credit rewards, but I think I'm gonna be renting Salt X soon. And again, it's not costing me anything to rent it.
Okay, good. Because like I said, Saw X is basically when he first gets diagnosed with his
Yeah,
brain cancer,
yeah.
then he goes down to Mexico to get a second opinion or another type of treatment or something like that. And so it's basically placed in between Saw 1 and 2.
Okay.
So it's a sequel prequel type thing. It is well before everything else we've seen.
Okay. Well, I
So,
probably will be renting it soon. And it's the one that Xander hasn't seen either, because he was got all current on it too. So that was his dad's big thing. So I wonder if they'll make any more.
I don't know.
I'm gonna let it ride. Xander's asking me if they're gonna make any paranormal, and I'm like, I don't know how at this point. I mean, I do know how because I've seen Next of Kin, but like to me, Next of Kin really added a whole another level to the lore of the paranormal franchise that if they pick up after it, I don't see in a way that it can be done that won't be shit with the way they left it and the depth of the layer they applied to it.
Yeah. And
So that one was
I haven't
weird.
seen Next to Kin yet. So
Yeah,
that's the
Next
one
of
I'm
Kin.
missing.
Yeah, I have Paramount Plus, so I have it on Paramount. I think the only one I don't have access to, yeah, is the one that I have not seen but have seen, which is the Mark One's extended edition, which has an additional like 20 to 30 minutes of footage. And some of the footage that I saw in the trailer didn't make it to the actual movie. And so I want to see that, but that one I also have to pay for. And since I've seen it and I have access to the free edition, I don't exactly want to pop and pay the rent.
We're a couple of cheap asses.
We are. Look, con life and OCR life, especially OCR life, ain't cheap.
Yeah.
And my promise too, I'm gonna build this cheap ass cosplay, and I'm just gonna worry about some cosplay makeup. It's turned into I'm building a whole fucking cosplay. It's gotten
So
expensive.
so is this for what, Saturday?
Yeah,
Okay.
and definitely probably not all day, but at least for the only reason I'm doing it for the meet and greet moment, autograph thing, and just why not? Because he's there. Because
Oh yeah,
this
you're God of War guy.
yeah, that does not at all fall into the horror category. But I'm gonna go to a horror convention cosplaying as a geek character.
Whatever works.
Mhm. I checked. He's not going to be at any other convention in North Carolina. Actually, he doesn't have many he's slated for outside. I believe it's Comic Con.
Which is
And then
San
he's got
Diego.
Yeah, and then you got the God of War 20th year anniversary panel convention day that they're also doing in California, and he is going to be there. They're doing all voiceover actors of all of the games. They're going to be there. The amount of how bad I wish I could just hop in a plane and go there for a day.
Yeah. But the fact that you actually who is it?
Christopher Judge.
Christopher Judge. So just the fact that you get to meet him,
Mm-hmm.
period.
Yeah, and
Uh,
he's not the original Kratos, which I'm fine with. He's a 2018. He brought back Kratos, and yeah, this is where my geek side is stronger than probably my OCR side. But out of all the God of War games, that is the only game where I have cried real fucking tears. The growth of Kratos in that game makes you cry. And that is where you see his acting skills really freaking shine. Whereas the other God of War voiceovers are fine. But I've played many video games, and there's a difference when you have a actor or actress voiceover in a character versus just a video game voiceover actor actress. Not to diminish their talent, but it's different. Like my Dragon Age series games, it's all riddled with Star Trek cast actors and actresses. Holy crap. Them cutscenes, that can really make you feel. See, this is where you have nothing because you're not a gamer.
You're such a geek.
I really am. Come to the geek side. We have cookies.
No, I mean, I, I make fun of you, but I mean, I don't hold it against you. I mean, as long as you enjoy it, that is all that friggin' matters to me.
And you know, it's
So,
I have something other than OCR that
mhm.
I can't get into.
Right.
It's just a small thing because I'm not an avid gamer. I have very few video games I could go on that kind of spiel about. Like that's like the extent of my video game
Yeah.
spiels.
No, and I'm glad. So honestly, I'm glad that there's something at Spookala that you can get into.
Yeah,
Um,
I mean I'm into the horrorness of it, but being able to geek out, I'm like, ooh, this is fun.
yeah, and they've also got the girls from Charmed that are going to be there too, right?
Yeah, but not the whole cast. They don't have Alyssa Milano.
Yeah.
And
So
really, if I were to pay to meet any of them, it would really be Alyssa Milano and Holly Marie Combs. I nothing against Rose McGowan. It's just her character in that show. I just didn't like it. And the actress has even said that she really didn't like the show. She just did it for work, and she never watched the series because she didn't even really like it to begin with. So I'm like,
right.
that's kind of an F you to your own fans
Yeah.
because the fans have been screaming for them to do a reboot, but they need her. And she won't reboot because she's like, that show sucked. I don't want to go back to it. I was like, well, fuck you too.
That's
I don't like
true.
you anyway.
I
But
mean,
I'm a
Prue
huge
Prue
Rose
was
McGowan.
better than Paige anyway. So
Yeah, but not to speak ill of her, but the Shannon Doherty had a tendency to piss off everybody and get
yeah,
fired from the team.
yeah, I heard that.
Yeah, she tried to get her and Alyssa Milano got to where they were button because Alyssa Milano became more of the face because she was the sexier one of the three. And so Shannon Doherty tried to get Alyssa Milano fired from the set and it backfired. And when it didn't work, she quit and bowed out.
Mm,
But they mended it before she passed away and they were all good.
yeah. So I mean, really, there's like at Spookala, there's not a whole lot that I'm interested in seeing either.
Yeah.
Um, but
Tobin
Tobin
Bell.
Bell, from Saw,
You got
would
Shawnee Smith. She's coming now to Spokella.
she's Amanda, right?
Hmm.
Yeah,
So she's gonna be there.
yeah. So I mean, so this funny because this is literally, well, I mean, when we went to Tampa Bay Screams, there was nobody
Yeah.
that was a big. They were all B, C level actress and actors. We
Yeah.
didn't know any of them.
Yeah.
Very, very small. In fact, the entire Tampa Bay Screams venue was about half the size of the vendor area for
Yeah.
Days of the Dead.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it was very, very tiny.
Yeah.
Kind of cool just because we hadn't been there. We saw some stuff, but didn't know any of the people that were there. But so this one, This is going to be one of those that, because there's no Terrifier crew,
Yeah.
it was just something to do.
Yeah.
Something because since I'm not racing this year, something for me and Ann's to do and go down there, and the fact that somebody there you wanted to meet, so that makes it even better. So
Yeah, Christopher Judge was kind of my selling point because I was back and forth on Spookella, but Christopher Judge kind of was like, okay, this is my selling point.
yeah, that's your one time, to get to meet them.
Hmm.
So
Yep, and it's fairly cheap. I mean, I will say they charged higher processing fees because I paid like $62 to register for Days of the Dead, $60 for the weekend, $60 for Spookella, but I paid like 75. And I looked, it was the processing fees and taxes, and I was like, that's some
oh
shit,
yeah, I don't
greedy bitches.
I don't remember because I bought the tickets in the hotel all the same time. So
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Yeah, I know as of yeah, today the weekend went up to now it's 74 person. So for the weekend. So like if you register, no, it's 72. So if you register now, you're gonna pay a little over $80 for it, about
Yeah.
85.
No, I did it when it was early, so we got it for the 60.
Yeah, I went registration happy and killed my wallet because I registered the family for the Viking experience on March 30th. And that was 5 people. And then I turned around and registered for Spookella. And I'm like, no, I'm broke.
Yeah, I still
They
haven't
said
done the Ren Fest for us yet, so
yeah, that one I'm gonna have to register for or just pay at gate if because I've got all my ducks lined up. It's just, am I for sure gonna pull that craziness? I don't know yet.
yeah. So
Because
I,
it is
I
a lot. I was thinking about that. I'm like, that is a lot of driving, and even with getting home and resting, I'm still getting back in the car, driving an hour and a half to a concert, jamming out till I know for a fact it's over, and then getting home. That is a lot.
it is. It is a lot. I really wish the Viking weekend wasn't the first weekend, but
Yeah. I didn't realize we had this. Apparently this is like a 10-year anniversary or 11 years, 10 or 11. And it's just 2 weekends in a row. And it's just like it's really just a Renaissance festival, but it's 100% Viking themed. Like they do shield maiden training things you can sign up for and shield walls and all kinds of stuff, blacksmithing, leather working. Like you can go learn the basic trades and it's legit. You pay like $20, but you get an hour of it hands on,
yeah.
real teaching. I think that's pretty cool.
When is that?
Now I'm doing March 30th, but it's 2 weekends in a row. You've got March 22nd through the 28th, and then you've got it's the 22nd through the 30th in total. But it's Friday, Saturday, Sunday only, so 6 days. I mean, it's not too bad of a person. I think it was because we only bought day passes because it's an hour and 48 minutes away. So I'm not gonna go the whole weekend. So it's like $18 a person.
Yeah, I mean that's like the Ren Fest for here. It's right at an hour and a half, almost 2 hours. I mean,
Yeah.
it's in the same town that Tough Mudder is.
Yeah.
Tough Mudder's probably 5 miles away from the Ren Fair area. So,
Yeah. Well,
but
if I can't, the last piece I can't figure out for Kratos is his waist belt. So if anything, hopefully I'll find something there. But I'm pumping money into it, but I'm pumping money into cheaper ways still of doing it.
nothing
Because
wrong with that.
you can go big, you can go wrong. So I'm like with this waist belt, I'm like, I could just get some brown fabric and I could just safety pin that shit around my waist. Yeah, I could just do that instead of getting leather. Or that's the same thing I do with the skirt. Because when I look at the girl cosplays, they look fuck off amazing. But they're also female cosplays. They're not cosplaying the actual character true to the costume, which is more what I'm doing, which is what's cheap. Because I ain't gotta buy a top. I'm literally going topless.
But wouldn't, I mean, leather's expensive, but EVA foam,
I don't think I know EVA foam.
Oh, EVA foam is what they make most cosplay stuff out of. It's basically like styrofoam,
Yeah.
but it's very moldable. So, like if you add heat to it, you can mold it and all that. But you
Pretty
can
cool.
cut it and make it into the belt and make it look like leather.
Yeah, because all I'm finding is real leather.
No,
And it's
look up EVA foam.
okay. I'll have to look that one up.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm not. I was gonna look to do an armor style brawl like the other female cosplayers have done, but that's when I was like, "Yo, I can legit fit an ace wrap." A plus side to being flatter than a board.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can
Yeah.
ace
Most
wrap.
definitely look up EVA foam.
Yep, I
That
will. But
is that is like the cosplayers, that is what brick and mortar is to a real building, EVA foam is to a cosplayer.
yeah, I'll
I
have to
mean,
look that up.
you can make hats, you can make armor, you can make everything out of EVA foam. And you can cut it, and then with heat, you can form it, and
You know,
it does everything.
my youngest stepkid probably knows a lot about it because they do a lot of that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So they probably could help me figure it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll have to do that. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I think so far the other trying parts are ironically shoes, and that's really it. I was going for full perfectness with his leg armors, but then I decided why spend the money on leather leg warmers when I can just buy brown leather wrap. Well, not leather wraps, but fabric wrap. So I'm just buying fabric wrap.
Okay.
Just wrap that around my leg and be done with it.
Yeah, that'll actually be cheaper than that. So.
Yeah. And then again, finding that fabric, the only way I could actually find it was if I bought a curtain. I could find that exact fabric pattern and color as a curtain, but
Yeah.
that's not gonna do for the bottom. So I was like, just buy fabric and paint gold on it. Just worked
Hey.
out the day I said I was going to Joann's. I Googled Joann's and I saw it in the news they're closing. I was like, well, it's just the day to go then.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Get everything much discounted just because they don't want to get rid of it, or because they do want to get rid of it because they don't have to deal with it after they close.
Oh yeah. The hair is the somewhat tricky part because I'm lining up the red because I refuse to go bald with it. I'm not doing a bald cap, but I got a couple ideas. We'll see which way ends up panning out best for me.
Okay.
One is red hair extensions, and the other is red hair spray paint. That sounds like the easier route, but it's not going to be the easier
It
route.
does seem to be the easier route.
It does, but you've got to think, you've got to be able to spray that to just line it up perfectly with the red here to line up perfectly, to go here to line up perfectly to do the rest of the swirl. I can control the flow of it if I do red hair clip extensions and just add
That's
as I go.
Yeah, that's true because you go and you spray it. Who says your hair is going to actually be that way when you go to?
And
Well, I guess if you don't
I
spray it till the morning of.
well, no, I didn't know none of that would be sprayed till morning of. And in my experience, red stains, whereas white not so much. And I'm spraying red in a hotel room, and red spray stains like a motherfucker.
Whatever.
Don't don't want any.
We were just in a fucking hotel room that was flooded.
Yeah, but you don't want to get accused of stuff. I've seen cosplayers get hit with crazy bills they didn't even do. Well, there's one OCR lady. I remember one year I had just started, and she had posted pictures how they actually got billed for damages due to the muddy hotel towels.
Yeah, I can see that. We have
When
we
they
have
got
left a mess at some of the hotels.
yeah, and they got billed damages for the mud in the bathrooms.
Yep, we've done that. So we haven't got billed for it, but we've left with the towels were orange and not white
Yeah,
anymore. And so normally, like if we have stuff like that, I do try to rinse out the tub and
yeah,
at least get it all down the drain. Whether it
Yeah.
clogs the drain or not, I have no idea. But I try to, clean all that out. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, I get it. I can
Yeah.
definitely see them getting charged for it.
Well, we'll see which route goes. I'm gonna buy the hair extension route first because it's the cheaper route. And if that don't work for me, then I'll go with the red spray route.
I got you.
I've seen red hair paint from Miharon, but it's like a little too this big. I'm gonna need so much freaking things of those at $10 a pop.
I actually know that name, Meron.
Miharon,
Well, it's
yeah,
Meron. Yeah, Mehron.
yeah.
Because I've actually used some of their stuff for my Halloween stuff. So
I'm ordering their scarring gel. Like you'll just put it
hmm
here and it just pulls the skin together.
yep.
None of my paint actually came from them. They actually didn't really have much of any of the paint I needed. It all came from whatever I found on Amazon, besides two that I pulled off of YouTube. So today I practiced this. I didn't take a picture today, but today was trying to figure out how to blend with setting powder, which I can't. But it was trying to blend without blending. So
Well,
working out the red around.
right. So you do the blending before the setting powder.
Yeah, but in the YouTube tutorial I was watching, he did his setting powder first, which was
No.
weird.
Yeah, that's weird.
And
You do your stuff, you do your blending, and then once it's set the way you want it, then you put the setting powder on top.
I can see why he does it the other way though, because the setting powder is a blanket of white. So it gives you in a two shades darker of a white. So it really gives that big white appearance. And when I was putting it on after I did everything, I'm like, this is kind of hard to just put this where there's only white because you've got black here and you got a fuck ton of red there.
Right.
So I see why, but it's not blendable. But even it's the white face paint. Once it dries, it's like cake. It's not budget unless I just use a washcloth with cold water.
Hmm.
So we was putting the setting powder on top of the face paint in itself was a problem.
Interesting.
So I think it's the face paint. So I'm gonna try adding. So what I did to blend the red and the black together was I just poured out red on a plate, black on a plate, made it more red dominant than black, mixed it and got a good dark red mix. I'm like, cool. So try doing the white with the black, and with the black being slightly more liquidized, maybe it'll help thin it out, which will help with that. And then
Yeah.
provide that darker shaded look.
So just so you know, actually, the pictures you sent me, I guess yesterday,
Yeah.
of your red and so
I'm practicing.
they've been shown. So
Well, thank you.
yeah, just so you know.
It's a work in progress.
And I mean, yeah, that's not a big deal.
But
So
the coloring to me is fairly simple. It's just blending.
yeah,
I own way too much cosplay tools now. It's taken over my desk.
I mean, not a bad habit to have. So
No, because I mean I've got a convention I'm going to for Chris's birthday at the end of July where I would just pull this cosplay again.
oh, okay,
And then if he wants to cosplay, um, if he needs if one, the stuff I already have is there. Two, of course I can build upon it. And especially if any of the kids want to cosplay because they're going as well.
that's cool.
So
Where's that
that's
one
why I
at?
look in Raleigh.
Okay,
Doing just a 1 day pass because going on Sunday's the cheapest day for a 1 day pass, and that one's like 65 a day. But for like the whole weekend is like 300 plus. It's a huge,
holy
it's a
crap!
4 day event, and they have over 200 usually famous people there, from writers, voiceovers to actors and actresses. It's huge, but it covers all the genres. You've got your horror genre, you got your sci-fi, you've got your fantasy, you got your anime, you got your gamers, you got your tabletop gamers. I mean, it's everything in one. Like usually a shit ton of the Star Trek cast is there.
Wow,
Um, I believe some of the Saw cast is actually going to be there. Some of the Terrifier cast this year is going to be there. Usually one of the doctors from the Doctor Who verse shows up. Anybody who's ever voiced over on Naruto is there. It's just a huge, huge cast, and they have some pretty big names that show up.
Still,
It's
300 bucks for a weekend?
you will say it is 4 days, but yeah, that's about what Dragon Con is. If I remember correctly, it's about that too. I think it
Yeah,
might be a little bit more expensive.
I'll never do that. So
I would love to go to San Diego Comic Con.
that would be interesting just because it's like the biggest.
Oh, it's a dream to go.
So
Dream.
that would be
Um,
interesting.
it doesn't. It is telling to me that my anxiety is so freaking different at a convention versus OCR.
Yeah.
I just get crowd anxiety. That's it. Just crowded. Too many people. I can't breathe. No,
No, I mean,
nothing like a race weekend.
you what?
It's nothing like a race weekend. Nothing at
No.
all.
No, I mean, well, and I mean, the big thing is there's only a few of us there. We're just having a good time. There's no
There's
fucking
nothing to worry
drama.
about.
Yeah, there's nothing to worry about. There's no fucking drama. So yeah, it's all it's all a good weekend.
It's like, hey, Britt, when did you eat last? I don't give a fuck to you because it's not like I'm out doing my mileage.
Right.
It's not really, I don't have to keep track of the time. I don't have to keep track of everything.
Yep.
I do need to like eat a little bit more than what I do because I need to remember I am walking, which is still burning calories, but I mean, was never an issue
No, I mean
unless I was
it's
going to get
yeah,
eaten.
it's not like it's detrimental that if you go, 30 minutes past when you probably should eat, it's like, oh, okay, well, let's get you something to eat,
Yeah, that
you
was like
know?
on Sunday where it was like, are you going to get this tattoo? It was I need to eat because
Right.
if I get a tattoo, then it's detrimental because I'm really not okay to get a tattoo right now.
Right, exactly, because of the sugar burn and all that stuff. So,
But that's why I'm like, I can do things like, think San Diego Comic Con, one of the absolute biggest. And while I would do Dragon Con, while I will do Raleigh, and the difference with Tampa is it doesn't, the travel gets to me. Obviously, I have travel anxiety. We didn't know that. We found that out. Um, but that's it.
yeah.
Once I get there, I'm fine.
Oh,
That travel anxiety, that's
excuse
the
me.
new thing that started.
Well, you got to have some type of anxiety every weekend. So, you
What am
know,
I going to do if I don't? My brain don't know
yeah,
what to do.
exactly. So throw some travel anxiety, and then you're good for the rest of the weekend. So,
Exactly. Now this one won't be travel anxiety. It'll be like, did I forget this? Did I forget that? Is this cosplay gonna go right? Am I gonna mess it up? Am I gonna screw it up? It's gonna be all that anxiety.
and you know what? Nobody's gonna give a fuck.
I think what I told Chris, I was like, as long as I don't look like Kratos' 5-year-old daughter tried to go play in daddy's war paint and daddy's armor, I'm okay as long as I don't look like that.
It's funny because I think back at Days of the Dead, and I basically remember like four cosplays.
Yeah.
I remember Victoria because that was probably the best one of the entire weekend.
Yes, it was.
I remember the ring because that
Yeah,
was that was just badass.
that was.
I remember Sienna Shaw because
Yep.
I took a picture with her,
Yeah.
and I remember Blade because he was the most annoying motherfucker that was at that entire thing.
Yes, yes, he was. And you had a couple of geek guys here or there. I can't. Was it was an Aquaman? I don't know. You might not have. I saw
I know I
Aquaman.
saw no I saw him. I saw him. Now that you mentioned him, I remember him. But that stands out? No.
And then the
Um,
Silent Hill girl, she stands out to me. The nurse.
so
Can't remember her name.
I missed her. I didn't see her.
Yeah.
But y'all saw her. But really only those four stand out to me.
Yeah.
And two of them, because they were just badass.
Yeah.
One I thought she did a really good job, so I took a picture. And the other was just the most annoying son of a bitch at the entire friggin' thing, because he's
Yeah.
walking around with music. I mean, and granted, it was even the type of music I listened to, but he was
Yeah, but
playing it so loud that nobody could even talk around him. I'm like, dude, fucking Blade didn't walk around with loud ass music playing.
No, he didn't.
You have a great looking cosplay, but now you're fucking it up because you got all that music nobody wants to listen to. Shut
that
the
guy was
fuck
good.
up and just walk around.
Yeah, I didn't like him. Now I could see Hannibal King playing music everywhere he went,
Who?
but he was Ryan Reynolds played his character. He was Hannibal King in Blade 3.
Oh, I love, I
That's
love
the only
that
reason I liked
character.
Blade 3 was Hannibal King.
So I didn't
All
know his name, but that was Ryan Reynolds' character was friggin' great
yeah, and so I could see Hannibal King
because
walking
he did.
around
He
playing
played
music
music. He did. He played music.
to take off Blade. And that's one thing I liked about the Wolverine and Deadpool movie was when they did the convergence of all the old DC Marvel characters, all the Marvel characters. There was Blade, and he even said to him, "You still something like he still talked too much, or he still didn't like him."
Yep.
But I freaking loved it because it was a throwback to Hannibal King.
Yeah, and Wesley Snipes does not like Ryan Reynolds, and
Mm-mm.
so they were very upfront about
Yeah,
that. So it was cool that Wesley Snipes actually showed up in the movie.
yeah,
I think my best part of that was when they thought it was going to be Captain America and ended up
yeah.
being Johnny Storm.
That
So
was great.
that was that was a great scene there.
That movie has become one of my comfort movies.
That
I think
and
it's my
the
favorite one.
the post credit scenes where it
Yes.
shows Johnny Storm saying exactly what Deadpool had said.
Yeah.
That shit was great. All right,
But
so
yeah, for
any
Spookella, I'm saying it's just going to be an interesting one. I'm looking forward to recapping on because you've got horror genre coming in with a heavy geek mix in tow. It's going to
that'll
be
work.
interesting.
Yeah, that'll work. That'll be interesting. So and that's what in a few weeks.
Yeah. So my question is, when do you go and cosplay at one?
Nope.
Nope, nope,
Nope.
never, no,
No.
no, no. You leave me hanging.
Yeah.
Do it by myself.
Yeah.
So if I go to the Ring Festival, you go cosplay there?
So no.
Because if I go, I'm gonna cosplay. I'm
Yeah.
gonna
So
all the
I don't. I mean,
costumes.
and I don't have an issue with that. I mean, I did a little bit when it came to the Pirate Weekend.
Yeah,
I did a little bit, and I did a little bit when we did the year before. I don't remember what it was. I went as an assassin, but
I remember that one.
yeah. But I mean, I don't know. I mean, I just because it's usually so daggum hot when it
Yeah,
runs that I usually wear a kilt.
yeah,
So I just kind of fit in, but I don't exactly like cosplay as anything. But
yeah.
I usually have, a kilt that y'all normally don't see. It's not, a kilt that I would run a race in. It's other kilts that I actually have. So,
Well, I'm just saying your Terrifier Halloween costume you did would be great at Spookella.
oh, my box.
Yeah,
Uh, so I don't know. I mean, if the Terrifier folks are going to be there, maybe.
yeah,
But nobody from there is going to be there.
yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe one of these days. I've still got it. It's in the garage. So
Yeah.
it's sitting there all in one piece. I haven't taken it apart. The only thing I did was, take the mask off because it's right there. So that's the
Oh,
mask.
I'm just looking at. Oh, I was looking at your masturbation glass.
Yeah, well, that's there. So along with
I love
the,
where you have it.
it's in the, in the hand that got cut off. So that's in
Yeah,
the hand that Art gave me, for the thing. So it's just
yeah.
sitting there. But yeah, I do. I mean, the mask and all that's right there. But the box and the head and all that stuff is out in the garage. So it's still
Oh,
all
well,
in one
wow.
piece.
While I'm staring at your Ice Nine Kills, it reminds me. So, I told you I was trying to figure out if that concert I'm looking to take my kids to was like a silver screen thing because it's a 2 day. They're launching a brand new 2 day thing,
Silver
but it's
Scream
not a
Thon.
yeah, but it's not a convention. They're
No,
just
it's
it's just
just
a two
called the
day
Silver
concert.
Scream Thon.
Yeah,
And yeah, it's 2 days worth of concert, and they have different opening bands for both days.
yeah. And
Yep.
I watched. I gave myself a little spoiler for the Disturbed set list for the 25K that I'm going to for the 25 anniversary. Oh my gosh, they're actually putting on a show this year.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I've seen it.
I watched that he was strapped in an electric chair.
Yep.
That was epic. Although I will say there's so many songs he could have come out of that chair singing that I think would have done better with the chair. Like, I don't know, Asylum. Because I was expecting Asylum to start, and I was a little, how I felt about Asylum was a little sad to not hear my
Yep.
Asylum.
But no,
I'm really
it's
excited.
it looks good. It looks like a good concert. But yeah, he goes and has the Department of Corrections orange suit on and gets strapped in. So yeah, I've seen it. So it'll be pretty cool.
Yeah. I've checked out Daughtery. They are not what I remember them being. Wow,
So
they've changed.
yeah, Chris Daughtry, when he was on American Idol, it's American Idol. Yeah, he was on American Idol. He was rock when he was there, but
Yeah.
he ended up getting second place that year to Catherine McPhee, and he did, I don't know, most of his stuff was pop.
Yeah.
So his next like 3 albums were pop, and
Yeah.
I followed him. It was good music. I liked his voice, and but then he took a few years off, and I'm not really sure why. But when he came back, it was all rock. So he's been
Yeah.
being played on Octane and things like that, and so Heavy as a Crown and things like that
Yeah.
he's done. So he's got some good music, and he actually deserves to open, for
Yeah.
like Disturbed and people like that. So
I was disappointed because I'd never really jammed out much to No Resolve. I'd only heard the one song he had done with David Germain, which is Angel Song, which his sound isn't normally my sound, but I really like the song.
sorry. I was listening. I was like, it sounds like it's. I thought it sounded like it was raining, and so I lifted up, and it's raining again. So,
But no, No Resolve is probably the one that I'm not that into because I listened to quite a few of their songs and I was like, oh, this is not my cup of tea.
so is it No Resolve, Daughtry, and Disturbed, or
Yeah,
Daughtry, No Resolved, and Disturbed?
I believe it's Daughtry, No Resolve,
Yeah.
which would make sense because No Resolve. No, it's not No Resolve. No Resolve. I like their music, a lot of their music. I had to pull it back up, but it is a dude has a weird sound. Disturbed. I know Daughtry's going to be first because you have that duet song with the second one.
Let's
Angel.
see. Oh, dadgummit. I did it again. Let's see.
Nothing More. That's the name of them.
Oh, I like Nothing More.
I've probably tried about 5 songs, and maybe I'm not finding the right one, but I've tried five, and out of five, I was like, nope, nope,
Listen
nope.
to Jenny.
That one I know, and that one I do like.
Yeah.
I haven't heard anything outside Jenny and Angel's song yet. He's
Yep.
got that sound that reminds me. Do you remember the song "I Believe in a Thing Called Love"?
No.
It's an annoying song.
Never heard
Spartan
of that one.
baby. My cat just knocked so much stuff over in the garage. Are you okay? Yeah. But anyways, I'm not even gonna sing it, but yeah, I'll have to look up the name, but there's the guy that sings a song, I believe in this thing called love, and the lead singer of Nothing More reminds me so much like him.
Ah.
And I make the face when I think about that I believe in a thing called love song because if you've not seen the video and subjected yourself to this, you have to once in your life. Because it's just one, it's like, what did I just watch and listen to and why?
What's it called again?
Only thing I remember is I believe in a thing called love.
All right. All right, I got it wrote down. I'll check it out.
Oh yeah, by the darkness.
Darkness?
By the darkness.
Like DARK?
Yeah, the darkness, and
Okay.
the Google's like showing me clips of the video, and it's just making me laugh singing watching this video.
Okay.
I'm like, the gorilla scene.
I'll look it up.
It's like I don't know if he was a lover of 80s music and just 80s videos or what, but it's like an 80s parody, but done very tastefully, and it's as tastefully as 80s can be done at that point.
Yeah, I think of 80s music, I think of like Robert Palmer,
He makes me think like he's trying to channel, I don't know, his inner Axl from Guns N' Roses or Led Zeppelin or Kiss. He makes me think of Kiss, yeah. Because there's a scene in the video where he does this, and he's got his shirt billowing open, and he's wearing like that goes jump.
Yeah, that's kind of Axl Rose, Paul Stanley type thing. So yeah, exactly.
So I don't know if he's trying to pay homage because he really likes the music and that's what he wants is to be an 80s band, or if it's a parody of it. I don't know, but it's great to watch at least once.
Okay, I'll check it out. I got it written down, so.
Yeah, because I remember watching that video as a teenager. I'm like, this dude had to have dropped so much acid when he made this video.
Oh yeah. Oh shit. All right. Well, you got anything else to close it with?
Nope, we got a lot of good things coming up. We're recapping.
Yeah, we
Horror
do.
movie shit, a little bit of geek shit, Renaissance Viking shit. It's a good little mix of shit.
Yep, exactly. So, and we got more coming down the pipe. So, all right. So, all right. I'm on. Like always, we'll cancel, then I'll holler. So, peace.
Thank you for listening to the OEN podcast. We hope you enjoyed your time with us. If you have any discussion ideas, feel free to drop us a line. Please follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Spotify at OEN Podcast. Have a great day, and we'll talk at you in the next one.